For decades, the Indian middle class chased one dream: study in America, get an H-1B, work, get a green card, raise family, and eventually become American. But US President Donald Trump is dismantling the traditional Indian American dream one pillar at a time. This week, despite facing legal setbacks, Trump signed fresh executive orders to tighten birthright citizenship, something his administration calls birth tourism, targeted at people who visit the country just to give birth and get citizenship for their child. Now, Trump's move is the latest piece of a much larger immigration puzzle, one that has increasingly affected Indians more than any other immigrant community. On Axis Focus, here are 5 Trump decisions that are steadily rewriting the rules of the Indian American dream. First, the birth tourism debate. On Thursday, President Trump signed 2 new executive orders targeting birthright citizenship. One cracks down on what the White House calls birth tourism. The other narrows down who actually qualifies for automatic citizenship, expanding that list to include children of so-called alien enemies, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and people who lobby on behalf of foreign governments. Now, to be clear, neither order strips citizenship from children already born to H-1B holders or other legal visa holders in the US. The birth tourism order targets visitors who travel specifically to give birth. But India, alongside China, has repeatedly been named by US officials as one of the top countries of origin for birth tourism. So, while it won't really change citizenship status for children already born to Indian professionals working in the US, for many Indian families who fly parents or relatives over specifically for a delivery of a child, the rules have just gotten a lot tighter and a lot riskier. Now, just before this, the Department of Homeland Security published its latest regulatory agenda, and buried inside it is what experts are calling the most sweeping H-1B overhaul in 2 decades. This plan includes tighter rules for outsourcing firms that place H-1B workers at client sites, narrower cap exemptions for universities and research institutions that currently hire outside the annual lottery, and heavier scrutiny for any employer with a history of violations. Indians hold the single largest share of H-1B visas issued every year. This means when Washington tightens this program, no other nationality absorbs more of the impact than Indians do. Next comes a proposal still under discussion at the Department of Homeland Security. A fee of $100,000, roughly around 96 lakh rupees, on international students who want to work in the US through the Optional Practical Training Program, or the OPT. Now, over 400,000 international graduates used OPT in 2024 alone, and for thousands of Indian students, it's the very first legal foothold into the American job market after graduation. To be clear, it's not a law yet. Officials haven't even decided who would pay it: the student, the university, or the employer. But the mere possibility has already triggered panic on university campuses. Let's turn now to what happened in May. The Trump administration made a change that got far less attention than it deserved. US Citizenship and Immigration Services reclassified adjustment of status, the process that lets people already living legally in the US apply for a green card without leaving the country, as what is called an extraordinary form of relief rather than a routine pathway. Now, in plain terms, thousands of Indian H-1B holders had relied on this exact process to switch to permanent residency without ever stepping outside the US. Now, the expectation is that most applicants return to their home country and apply through a US consulate instead, making it far more complicated. Now, it's one of the most significant attempts yet to quietly restrict a legal immigration pathway Indians have used for decades. Put all 4 of these together and a pattern starts to show. Tighter birthright rules, an H-1B visa getting harder to get, a 6-figure price tag on a student's very first US job, and a green card process that may now require leaving the country altogether. Now rewind to last year where it started. A $100,000 fee on new H-1B visa petitions. Over 70% of H-1B holders are Indian nationals. Put all these together, and a clear pattern emerges how the Trump administration's crackdown is breaking Indians' American dream. Delhi called it a move with quote-unquote human consequences. US lawmakers urged Trump to reconsider. None of these individually shut the door on Indian immigration to America, but stacked one after another in less than 12 months. They represent the most sustained pressure campaign on legal immigration pathways that Indian professionals and students have seen in recent memory.
They had a nuclear weapon.
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.